What's one place you'd still go to even though it's canceled?
Chick-fil-A.
Toys R Us.
Best Blockbuster.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, let's not get into that. But let's get into it.
Shamir, I'm disappointed in you.
You stole my answer.
You know
stole
better.
my
I
answer.
know which one you should have said.
Wait.
What?
Starbucks. You love Starbucks.
Oh, I
yeah.
see what you're
You
saying.
would
Like canceled
definitely-
Yeah.
by the culture, but
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah.
Starbucks would be your answer.
No, Chick-fil-A. Because Chick-fil-A is just so amazing.
Chick-fil-A is so
good. Like, so many people have canceled it and they're like, no, it's too homophobic, but it's like so good. And they never get your order wrong. I've never gotten my order wrong.
And I get treated like a queen there. Like, how may I serve
my
you?
pleasure.
No,
My
that's-
pleasure.
Yeah, the pleasure
that's
is mine.
Very culty.
What?
Very
Chick-fil-A?
culty.
Oh, If that's a cult, then I want to be a part of it.
Well, yeah, the cults are like that.
Yeah.
But the food is actually good.
Yeah.
what
It's like
sometimes-
high quality food.
Sometimes the cults,
for
the
the
quality's
price
not
of
that
Burger
good.
King.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Not
cheaper
tr-
than Wendy's.
Yeah.
Not true.
Cheaper than Wendy's.
Not true.
It's
They're-
cheaper than Wendy's.
They're literally, you can get a nuggets meal for like $8.50.
It's cheaper than Wendy's, dude.
$8.50 for nuggets.
Nugget meal with
Meal
fries
with
and
fries,
a drink.
and their fries are so good.
Their fries are so great. Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah.
What
Dead.
what place did you say?
I said Toys R Us.
Why is Toys R Us canceled?
I mean, they're gone.
I thought that's what you were asking at first. That's
What?
why
Like
I
that they're
started saying
shut
Best
down?
Buy, but I meant Blockbuster.
Okay. I would love to go to Blockbuster. That's a good answer.
Why is Blockbuster canceled?
It's not canceled.
Well,
It's
it's like
just
done.
It's just financially canceled.
Financially canceled.
It's
Yeah.
not canceled because of any, controversial reasons. But Blockbuster, when we were kids, you used to
That was
go there
experience.
and pick out a movie for the weekend.
Yeah.
And a candy. We'd get a movie and a snack.
I didn't get a candy.
Well, the candy was mad expensive.
It was.
You
but-
guys were bougie.
No,
'cause
I didn't get
We weren't
one
doing
candy.
that.
Yeah.
We were eating the goli and toffee that we got from Pakistan.
I couldn't even get the video games. You know how they had video games?
Oh, the
That was-
video games were big expensive.
Yeah.
Never got the
Why?
video games.
Did you have to buy them
No, they were more expensive
to rent?
to rent.
And you had to turn them in sooner,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
3-day rental.
Yeah, I think it was shorter, which doesn't make sense because movie you watch like kind of once
Yeah.
and then you return it. The game takes like a couple days to finish,
I used to be so mad when people didn't rewind the VHS before they returned it. And I'd be sitting, because it literally at the end of the whole thing, it'd be like, please be kind, please rewind.
Yeah.
And then I'd turn it on and I would get Barney and I would have to
We-
sit there and rewind it.
We used to share a lot of stuff like in the 90s. That's crazy. Like we would all share the same discs, VCR, like
Mhm.
cassettes.
Oh,
That's
I thought
crazy.
you meant like share the same thing to watch as well. Because
that too.
right now, in the same house, everybody watches something different
Yeah, that's
according to their
true.
own thing. When we were kids, it was nice because my dad would be like, oh, this is a classic movie. Like, you guys have to watch this. And it was always so awesome. And that's what lives on,
Yeah.
in my head till this day. And there's less options, so you're not as confused. Right now, sometimes there's days where I just scroll through Netflix and that's what I watched, the scrolling. I didn't pick a movie.
Yeah.
watched nothing.
Now they have a feature where it shuffles automatically. Like, don't know what to watch? You press it now. I saw it recently and I was like, what the heck? I didn't want to try it because
Yeah.
I didn't want to get lost in a show or something.
Yeah.
But it was crazy.
Nice question.
But I chose Toys R Us because, Toys R Us, the experience, right? Whenever you go into Toys R Us, it was just so beautiful. And then when it
How'd
was,
you answer your own question wrong?
what? Well, because you stole Chick-fil-A from me. Like Chick-fil-A was my number one answer. But yeah, Starbucks, I think I could live without. I think I like Starbucks.
Mhm.
But like if they really did something wrong, I think I could leave.
But
leave it.
If you look into any of these companies, then you'll find something. There's always some list that is a bunch of things that are, you're not supposed to go to.
Yeah.
It's really impossible to avoid all of that
Yeah,
unless you're
sure.
like making your own
Yeah.
stuff.
The way I came up with the question was, one, I was at Chick-fil-A and I was just eating the sandwich recently.
Right.
And I was like, this is so good. And then recently someone was like, no, I wouldn't work at Chick-fil-A because they're like homophobic or something.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like,
It's funny because on TikTok, there's like straight TikTok and then not straight
Yeah.
TikTok, I guess. And they were like, there's this person who was a part of the LGBT community, self-claimed, and he was eating the Chick-fil-A and he was like, homophobia never tasted so good. And they made it like to a joke. And I was like, okay, well, at least it's like, it's not at least, honestly, but it was like they made a joke out of
Yeah.
it.
it wasn't so like super serious.
You can still
Yeah.
call out, companies and
Yeah.
do your thing while
Mhm.
still consuming. I don't know. I guess it depends on your impact, right?
Yeah.
If you're an individual who can afford to make these decisions where you can pick and choose the right things, then do it. But otherwise, I mean, how can you expect everybody to, just kind of change their lifestyle to cater to, a certain belief or something?
Yep. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to an episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Shamir.
I'm Frosty for Us from Wendy's.
My name is Amber. Did you see the Frosty Chino? Sorry.
Yeah, I actually tried it.
Really?
Good.
How was it?
I mean, like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
In a song of yours, didn't you say "Call me Frosty Chino"?
It's an upcoming song, Amber. Thanks for the spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Anyways, this is the strangest and greatest podcast in the game. This is brought to you by Alif Theory. If you'd like to email us or send us your music, strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to get this sexy Strange Flavors merch, it's at strangeflavors.store. And if you'd like to support this podcast and be on this wonderful wall, Strange Flavors Town, we get a woo woo. We got Barbara's Bagels, Free Hills Falafels, Cassie's Cupcakes, Uslam's Apples, Shamil Shawarmas, Airhaz Ices. And if you want to join this board, there is a link down below.
Ooh.
Yo, so obviously we've been putting in these fictional restaurants onto our little decoration table over here. And we got, did we have the Pizza Planet last time? We had the Pizza Planet truck last time. We just got the best new one from a supporter. Fariha's Falafel sent in a Jasmine Dragon Tea House mug from Avatar.
Let's
Uncle
go.
Iroh's Tea Shop. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now?
That's amazing. It's a great design too.
Great design. It says Bossing Say at the bottom. Oh my God. There's no Warren Bossing Say. That's some chick flavor cult shit right there. But
if anybody wants to send in good burgers so I can finally get in on this. Sorry. I want to be as happy as you. Because I don't know. I don't watch Avatar.
I know, but it's Uncle Iroh's moment right now, and you keep intercepting like the movement.
I'm sorry. Go off, Uncle Iroh.
She's trying to cancel it.
He would tell you, Duko, don't interrupt me.
Yeah, I wish I could get that reference.
You said Tuco.
He always kind of says like Duko. It's never like a Zuko. It's like a Duko.
Okay. Because we also have a Tuco Los Boils.
Oh, that's Tuco.
Yeah.
Tuco and Zuko.
It's Tuco and Zuko.
This is so far. Hey, Fariha, thank you so much for sending that in.
Thank you.
That is the most epic decoration we have right now. I love it. And thank you for your support, honestly.
If you want to send one in, let us know. We're going to expand into a shelf hopefully soon when we get enough.
Yeah.
Amber is spoiling all the plans.
Well, I mean, it's an incentive to send it in so they can see it.
Fine.
It's an incentive to expand.
Speaking of drops.
Speaking of drops, there's a lot of music dropping recently. But guess what else is dropping?
What?
A new ocean.
What?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, a new ocean.
Earth getting a new ocean?
Earth just dropped a new ocean. The National Geographic Society has named the Southern Ocean, which is the water surrounding Antarctica, the world's 5th ocean.
What?
Yeah.
We can do that?
I guess.
And what are they calling it?
I guess the Southern Ocean. I don't know. I think, it's called the Southern Ocean.
I don't like that because the way that we teach kids is like we have songs and everything.
Yeah.
And then they just come in and mess it
Wait, what's
all
the song?
up. Well,
Amber doesn't know.
Wait, you don't know it?
Amber, how many
continents one.
continents are there?
7.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, a new continent
they
just
just
dropped.
dropped a new one.
America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia. Don't forget Australia. Don't forget Antarctica.
This song does not slap, I must say.
It
They're
does not
teaching
slap.
this to kids. They need to cancel that one.
What about the 50 State song? That slaps.
There's a 50 State song?
You don't know the 50 State song?
No.
Stop.
Why would
In
you make a
alphabetical
song?
order.
Oh my God, that sounds
Well, I never
horrible.
memorized it, but I think I've heard it.
Oh my gosh. I haven't memorized since 2nd grade.
That sounds horrible. Wait, so they could just drop a new ocean like that? I remember when they
Is
canceled
it a
Pluto.
limited drop?
Oh, yeah, they canceled Pluto. What?
Is it a limited drop?
No. I think they're saying scientists have recognized this body of water as different than the other waters because, I don't know.
pH or something?
Yeah, some
It's colder.
random
We knew
shit
that.
like that. Yeah, random shit like that. But nobody decided is this a planet or not? Pluto, right? At one time,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, it's a planet. It's a large thing.
All of our listeners, our younger listeners, don't understand what Pluto is. Guys,
Yeah.
Planet X. Do they call it Planet X still?
I was teaching planets to one of my kids today.
And you
I
accidentally said Pluto?
I was teaching her the song for all the planets. And I was like, there's no Pluto on this thing. And all of our teaching materials as children had Pluto on them.
Honestly, bring Pluto back.
Bring Pluto
Bring
back.
Pluto back, yeah.
It was
honestly.
the
They
little
named a
cute one.
whole
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse character after him.
I don't. Is that true?
the dog, right?
Yeah, the
dog's-
dog, Pluto.
Yeah, dog's-
Yeah, but it's named after the planet Pluto.
Well, why else would they name it Pluto?
I
They
don't
didn't
know.
just bring
Pluto-
up that name out of nowhere. It was
Yeah.
named after the planet.
Don't they have like a Jupiter dog or something? I don't know.
Probably.
Son, can we fact check that?
Yeah, can we
That
fact
is
check
such a big cap. I don't.
What
I'm
do you
pretty
mean?
sure. I'm pretty sure they named the planets after mostly
Mickey
Mouse
No,
characters?
the Roman
yeah.
pantheon. The Roman pantheon. That's where the planets got their names from.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, well,
Amber, you can't just drop like a random fact. Like, what are you, a scientist?
no, but like, wouldn't that make sense? Like, you're like,
No.
oh, there's. Okay, I'm not thinking when I hear Pluto, I'm not thinking of whatever Isan just said because I didn't absorb what he said. But like, I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking of the planet that we were taught growing up that doesn't exist anymore.
That was such a kid. You know the guy. Wait, is it? Go ahead.
So yeah, the planets got their names from. They named them after the Roman gods.
But what about the dog? What was
No,
he
no, no.
named after?
Mickey Mouse, the
Well,
dog.
the fact is that the name Pluto exists before the dog and the naming of the planet.
Okay, but
And
they're
the-
not going back that far.
Amber,
What makes
the
you
point
think
is you
they're
don't
not?
know. You just you know that guy on TikTok who asked the little kids like questions. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, what's her name? Like
Jabria.
Jabria.
Are you
What's
smart?
Are you smart? Yes. What's 2 + 2? 64. Good job. That's Amber right now. Amber, are you smart?
Yeah.
Why did they name the dog in Mickey Mouse Pluto?
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and accept
Good
my
job.
L.
Wait, what is it? Did you see it?
Yeah.
What does it say? What did they name it after? The Roman god?
Okay, so there's 2 answers, and both of them are giving one Isan's answer and one my answer.
She always does this.
I am. Look, read both. Read
I
both.
notice whenever she's wrong, she's like, oh, so there's 2 answers?
The Roman god.
How?
And then look right there at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So thank you.
I mean,
sir.
the first one is higher on the list. More people click that, so I think the Roman god. That's weird though. Why would you name like a cartoon after like a Roman god?
You know, I'm excited about this new ocean drop. I think we need more drops like that. Like, for
Yeah.
example, California.
Yeah.
California got to be its own country.
I think Florida should be its own country.
Florida is its own country. I don't know where you've been, but Florida has been its own country. We just somehow associated with the U.S., but Florida does what Florida
Actually,
wants.
I'm glad California is part of our country because they pay taxes for some of the other states. They pay way too many taxes. So
They also bring in like a lot of influence and votes, like for what California kind of rocks with.
oh yeah.
So that's the thing. But I remember for a while they were saying like, we're in Maryland, so they were saying like West Maryland needs to be a separate state because it has nothing to do with the rest of Maryland.
Is that
far
like
as-
where you live?
No, I don't live in West. I live in North. But West is like, you know, where the Appalachian Trail and stuff is. What?
Amber doesn't know her geography.
Right. Amber, it was named after. No, but like, you know how there's West Virginia?
Yeah.
West Virginia is very different than Virginia.
Yeah.
And then so West Maryland is a lot like West Virginia more than the rest of, I guess what you would classify as the DMV.
Yeah.
So once they should make it a part of Virginia?
Because like the DMV area, when you say DMV, you're really just talking about like the DC.
Yeah. DC.
That's what
Maryland,
it is.
Virginia
DMV
area.
is
Metropolitan area.
Yeah, according like what is it? Referring to the tri-state area
The tri-state
Yes,
area.
you're not talking about like Frederick.
or
Yeah, no.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Baltimore is its own thing.
Yeah.
But so that's what's kind of like.
Yeah. I have a weird question sparking off of this. I saw this post on someone's story. It was like, who would win in a war? Would it be west side of Maryland or east side of Maryland? Or not Maryland, sorry.
Of the US.
Yeah.
East side
East.
easily.
East side.
100%.
I literally replied to that story and I was like, New York and Florida would cream all of the west side. You got the crazies in New York and Florida. Like,
I mean, think about it. Chicago, Detroit,
Yeah.
New York,
Yeah.
Philly, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And wha-
Yeah.
dude, you only have Cali on the left side, a little bit of
like,
Texas.
We even have some
Seattle.
of Texas.
yeah.
But no way. Like we also have more population, right? Like on the East
Yeah.
Coast. I mean, New York alone has so many people. But yeah, I mean, East Coast versus West Coast in a real like war. Are you
Dude,
kidding
West
me?
Coasters gonna be mad.
East
dude.
Coast is
Yeah.
Beast Coast.
Yeah, honestly.
West Coast, I love the West Coast, but
yeah, it's a vibe there, but they're too chill, you know?
I don't know.
We're rough and
Alaska's
tough.
on that side. So
Alaska, they only got
Amber.
the last blockbuster. That's the only thing they got.
one, they have 2 people living there.
And
It's
the
gonna
last
I don't
take them.
know.
blockbuster.
It's gonna take them
those
like a year to
snowballs
come
would
over.
hurt.
And the snowballs would hurt. They would melt by the time, unless it's winter here.
Put them in the Southern Water Tribe with the new ocean. They can fight for them. All right.
Idaho, they could chuck some potatoes.
Man.
Amber, now you're offending the Idahoans. Idahos. You're offending the Idahos.
Dang. Wait, is this the first time you're looking at a map?
Yeah, she's trying to figure out what's where.
I'm just trying to get a better visual.
She knows all the states. She just doesn't know where they are.
I know where they belong, but not at the same time.
You know what we need to do for
What?
Like I know,
Not
like
at
if
this-
you were to
they're
ask
moving?
me, no, like if you were to ask me individually, like where would it go? I can like process that, but I can't
Okay.
process all of them at the same time where they are.
You know, for like a vlog or something, we need to drop Amber in the middle of nowhere without a phone and see if she can figure her way back home.
Well, she's like social enough. She'll be like, yeah, where do I go?
Right.
Say
I'd
to
literally
go.
be like friends with people, be like, okay, so like where do I go?
Yeah.
Like, so
No.
I
You
probably wouldn't even
this
come
route.
back.
We have to make rules, dude.
You can't talk to anybody?
You can't talk to anybody. You can only like go in your car. You have to like
Okay,
read the
fast.
road signs and everything and figure out how to
Yeah,
get back.
I could figure out. It doesn't like I-95 go through all the 50 states.
All 50. Good job. Even Alaska. Good job. Even Hawaii. Good job.
All 48
No.
states.
No, 95 runs on the East Coast.
There's a
70.
road that goes 70. Okay, so if
That
I
still doesn't go through all
66.
50 states.
What's-
95 doesn't even go through all of the states on the East Coast. Like it's gonna 70.
if I stay on a road long enough, I'll get somewhere.
All right, great. What's up with your You got a new tattoo? What happened? You have a tattoo?
Whoa,
You
Amber
getting
got a
tattoos out here?
tatted?
I'm tatted up, y'all. You can't compete. Ooh.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Okay,
Where'd you
well,
get it?
I'm waiting.
I
You're
don't- I
looking
don't-
at it right now.
I don't see any tattoos. Face
It
tat?
You got eyebrows?
Yeah,
Eyebrow tat. Is it permanent?
it's permanent.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's called microblade. It's 3 years, which is
So that's
it's,
haram, right?
It's considered
It's a tattoo.
permanent. So that's what I thought. And obviously, there's different schools of thoughts. But since it's only lasting 3 years,
Amber always goes with a second answer, second school of thought.
no. So technically, it doesn't break more than like the first layer of skin. I was asking her about it too.
Okay.
It only sits on top of the first 2 layers of skin. It's not like a real tattoo. A tattoo actually breaks skin. I didn't bleed at all during the procedure. So yes, if you look really deeply into my brows, there's hair strokes in them that are drawn on.
Well, you usually draw your eyebrows on
Right. And so why do I do that? So like,
because you're missing some of them.
and why is that?
Accident.
Right. So I got in a car accident when I was 16. A chunk of my eyebrow was missing, and I used to just like kind of color it in or whatever. And so this, my yoga teacher, she posted about how her daughter does microblading, and I've been hearing about it for years. I was like, yo, I don't really want to do something permanent like that. But I commented on it. I was like, oh, share her business. She ended up DMing me and doing a collab where
Dang.
like she is doing my brows in return for it. And now that I got them done,
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, this is amazing.
It's good?
It's like I did not feel anything. I didn't feel any pain
That's crazy.
at all. Not like a little bit even. I
Yeah.
went to work straight after. I haven't taken a single Tylenol today. Yeah.
Can you give me her contact info? I'm trying to grow a beard. So.
Yeah.
I was about to say the brown boy's about to be on that. Like, yo, line me up, fam.
Line me up. Give me
Yeah.
a nice trim, you know?
Why don't you go for the uni?
You know, I was gonna save that for the touch up.
Okay,
Yeah.
you could like honestly a uni. You could rock a uni.
I could rock a uni. I did for a lot of my life
I'm
actually.
slowly growing one, if you guys
Uni
can tell.
bros.
Yeah.
Slowly growing one. I never had a unibrow when I was
Mm.
younger. I'm slowly
Did
growing
you ever
one.
like just shave?
I think like once, but I never had to because I'm not that hairy. So
True.
now, you know, I'm becoming a man slowly. So it's going in.
You know, like most of the time when I say guys, like their barbers do it for them. They just
Oh yeah, well they like line it up and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I was rocking a uni when I was a boy.
Right.
When did you
Same.
shut it? Shave
Shut it down. Shut it down. When'd you cancel it? No, like when I started like shaving and stuff, then I was like, okay, let me like. But I don't do like my brows and stuff. Like a lot of guys that do it.
You don't do the middle either?
No, the middle is where the uni is, right?
Right.
But like I'm not. I don't care if people do it, but I'm not into like doing all the eyebrows because then you could see like
Yeah.
The cut. for guys.
the cut, but also like when
It's
it grows back
overdone,
in and
yeah.
stuff.
Mm.
I'm not into all that. But
Was it like scary at first? Were you like, or were you like happy? Like, yo, it's finally gone.
no? It's just like a few hairs. You just like pluck it out.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't like the shaving either.
Okay.
I think the plucking is better.
How much do you think a procedure like this costs?
Procedure like that, I don't know, like 300, 400.
Mm.
Yeah, like 300, 200.
So like it ranges between like 550 and 1,000.
Whoa.
But like it also goes way above that too.
Why?
Because it's permanent makeup and it's like pretty new in the game.
People do like that with eyeliner too, right?
yeah, I would not do it with eyeliner. The whole thing is I've been wanting a very natural look, right? And I've been wearing less makeup when it comes to like colors and things like that. I've been like toning it down. But it was always annoying to me that I had to color in a brow and it looks like you're coloring it in. It's not natural. It's not strokes. It's not hair. It's just color underneath your hair. And so it's enticing because it looks like actual hair strokes. And I was like, that's actually really cool. And when I go in for a touch up, they're going to add in more hair strokes to kind of fluff it up and make it look natural. So catch me with brows year round.
Let me do the next touch up.
You want
Fill me up some ink and I got you. Yeah.
Monobrow, unibrow.
No, I'll do it.
I'm
So you
sure
don't have to
you
pay.
would.
You don't have to pay all that.
I'm
money.
not paying. That's what I just explained. That I'm not
Get them
paying.
to sponsor us.
They are collabing with me. I'm not paying for anything.
No, it's us.
Well, I mean, get your own collab.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this beard, bro.
That's fire. Good for
That's
you.
what FouseyTube was doing, microneedling for his
hairline.
Literally
yeah.
the same thing.
No, he got his head shaved
Yeah.
because he was balding, and he just went in and got fake hair put in. It's permanent makeup,
Whoa.
and he put like the little
The
dots.
future's gonna be scary, yo.
Yeah. Did you see guys are wearing like wig caps now? But like
Really?
you can't tell because they glue them onto their scalp, cut it up, and it looks super natural, but they have no hair on the top. I'm really not eating this.
I mean, good for them, you know? Good for
Mhm.
people. Like they're finding easier and cheaper ways rather than just literally
Transplant.
putting in stuff inside your skin, you know? Like it's
Yeah,
like-
just do what you want. People just don't hurt yourself. Don't go to other countries trying to get cheap procedures that
And
screw you
stop
up for your
getting
life.
BBLs so young.
what's BBLs?
Brazilian butt lifts.
Oh.
Everybody is getting a Brazilian butt lift. And I'm like, if you're under 23, I don't care if this is a strong opinion, but stop getting a Brazilian butt lift. Try to go to the gym first. Try to work on your own body first. Don't result in surgery for something that you can fix. If you end up realizing that your body doesn't, that you can't, it's really hard for you, whatever, then by all means. But some of these girls are 18-year-olds fresh. And these people, these plastic surgeons in Miami are piling up these girls, giving them a Brazilian butt lift and sending them off. So when it comes to like alterations, we asked about it on this podcast like a few weeks ago, like if you could get any work done, like what would it be? And I said nothing. I was like, or
Would
what
you say
is it, double
happiness?
chin or happiness or something
Amber, you
like
got work done.
And that's what I'm saying. Is I got it done. And
Dang. That
honestly,
should've
this
been your answer.
opportunity kind of fell on my lap where I didn't even think it's something that I would really care about doing. And I'm doing it because it's there. But if it's something that makes you happy and it's something that makes you feel more comfortable and confident, by all means do it. But definitely don't rush to it. I had the gap for 10 years and I didn't touch it. And now that I'm going to do it now, whatever, I know that whether this makeup comes off tomorrow or this tattooing comes off tomorrow, I will be 100% fine, equally as confident, and nothing's going to change from it. So do things that just because they make you happy, not because you think you need them, but because you want them.
On that note, I think it would be extremely appropriate to bring in our super confident and amazing guest for today. Our stranger this week is the most unique candidate in the run for New York City's next mayor. They hope to stand out with their radical ideas and artistic campaign promotions, all through the lens of love. Everyone, please give it up for our stranger, Paperboy Prince.
I'm spending love in the city.
Paper, yeah. It's our time.
Wow, is that the go-to intro?
Paper, yeah.
I like it. It's chill. Okay, I was low-key a little bit scared because some people were like, I talked to some people and they were like, oh, Paperboy, like, you have to address they, them. And I don't know anybody like that currently. So I was just like, all right, I got to be careful. So first of all, I have to say, I'm not an expert on non-binary, but I am an expert on branding. And Paperboy, and you expect me to do they, them? You're making it so hard for me over here.
And then
Prince?
Well, I'll say this. Yes, I am non-binary or gender non-conforming and trans non-binary, and
Rock on.
my pronouns are Paperboy and Prince. So if first off, so if folks want to address me as just Paperboy and Prince, they can do that. They can also, my pronouns are God, Goddess, so they can address me as that.
What?
They can say, like, oh, whose backpack is that? Oh, I think that's God's backpack. And then,
No way.
we're all made in God's image, and we're all, gods and goddesses. So those are my pronouns. And then after that, if some folks, that's a little hard for them to catch on to. So then there's they, them, which, we do that all the time when you say, whose turn is it to clean the bathroom? Oh, it's
Their turn.
So, and for me, I'm not the biggest police on it as far as the gender police on that. But, for me, I say all pronouns with love. Sometimes folks just slip and say, oh, I think he's here. I'm not, it's at the end of the world if someone does that.
Gotcha.
But I do encourage folks to make that effort, and it does mean a lot to me. And, a big part of it is, for the reason for that is, people were, and I know you said you don't know many people like that. Whereas for me, I'm surrounded by everyone like that.
New York City.
In New York, it's like everyone is like that here. So
I'm surprised you didn't say love is one of your pronouns. I feel like like just saying like, hey, love, could you get that? I feel like that's a good one.
That's a fire one. Because that's super gender neutral too,
that's
right?
Your whole movement. Is there a reason you didn't go
so that is one of my pronouns.
Got
my
it.
name is Paperboy. My name is Paperboy Love Prince.
Yeah.
So when I mentioned Paperboy and Prince, love is also one of them too.
Gotcha.
Got it.
So
Sweet.
that's
a lot of names.
That's one. And Instagram just added now in your bio that doesn't count towards your bio character count. In Instagram,
pronouns.
you can put your pronouns.
But no
right?
God, goddess, love, Paperboy, Prince. What do you go with they, them?
Exactly. So they don't have any of that. So
They should just have a custom one.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Wait,
the
but they
problem.
do have like a lot of options, right? Don't they have like, is that the...
They have a lot, but I mean, if you want to do he's got custom.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
like a gamer tag.
That is a custom one.
You're going with a custom option.
Exactly. So, I need that. So that's that with that. And, it's just a learning, growing process. And again, language is meant to change, language is meant to transform. How many languages come from other languages, come from advances in society? How much language do we have to create because of texting, because of cell phones, because of the internet? So, language is meant to evolve. And that's a part of what I like to do with language, transform it. My pronouns are God, goddess, because I want myself and I want those around me to live up to that. If I call you the B word, that's a very easy, I'm low. People can say what they want. I can call somebody the B word, and then that's me asking you to live up to that. The B word, obviously, y'all know which word I'm talking about, right? And,
like the curse word.
The curse word, exactly. But if I call you a goddess,
but that's with love. Like, I'm referring to all my girls like that, but like with love.
Exactly.
If I say that word, I'm giving you an even higher standard to live up to.
Well, I think that's the kind of like, that's the part where, you don't know between different people what their comfortability or language is with a certain word, what connotation comes with it. Because who knows? Some people might find it offensive that it's referring to
female dog.
Somebody, no, even a god or goddess.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I think
exactly.
It's a difficult thing.
Exactly. Some people might find it endearing. Some people might find it offensive. You referring to yourself as a man. Some people might like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all of these things. But for me, it's a certain. I have a manager that I work with who's 13 years old, and he will use my God, goddess pronouns, and it's really great to see him. He'll be like, when God speaks, people listen. And, I watched God get out of get off the train.
Your manager's 13?
He's one of our campaign managers, 13. Yeah. And
Why
it's
is
so
that?
funny and so cute. Huh?
Why is that? What's the point of having a 13-year-old in your management group for a campaign?
Well, the goal is to, teach youth and inspire the youth in a hands-on way, not just saying, oh yeah, we want to help the youth. It's like, okay, no, we're doing that every day, like tangibly, you know what I mean?
I like that. That gives them some experience. That's nice.
What's the difference between giving them the manager title versus a campaign like lead? Like a manager has a lot more responsibility, right?
Exactly. And so it's throwing them into the fire. I feel like we baby children too much, and adults, and we need to allow us to have more responsibility right now. And that's part of the big problem with the world. That's a big problem with men. It's a big problem with women, big problem with children. We don't give folks enough responsibility early on. And then when we do, everyone has anxiety and depression and all these things because we've been babied for so long. I feel like school babies us. People haven't been living life the way we live it now for a long time. This is a new thing that you just go to school for some of the most fertile and strong and transformative years of your life. You're just in a socialization camp.
That's
right?
An interesting adjective to use for school-age children.
I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You don't really have an opportunity to create anything new. You can't even create your own schedule. They tell you what to think, tell you what to study, tell you where to go, tell you who you can be around, the neighborhood you can be in, right? The clothes that you wear, all of these things. So for me, it's giving folks more control and finding, back in the day, my grandmother and these people, they were working in 8th grade. They had to work. They had more responsibility. They were raising children by 18 and all this stuff. They're not saying that is the best possible way, but it's important,
I want to ask, how does Paperboy make it into the mayoral race? What is your upbringing up until, you decide that, I know that you wanted to run for Congress as well, but like, why that path?
That path is because they said that we couldn't do it, but you see we did. Not a daddy, but the politician, my kid.
DMX.
Hop in the water. I look like the squid. You got us on a ballot. Now we about to win. Over your head, like some overhead lighting. Giving out hugs and kisses. No, I'm not fighting. I'm spreading love. I don't care if you like it. They see my style. Also, they're biting. Diamonds like lightning. Plus, I'm enlightened. Sounding fake as a script they reciting. What happens next? Suspense is heightened. Want me in a cage? The kids were biting. I'm eating good. Might get the itis. My name in their mouth like gingivitis. It's our time. You think I'm psychic? Moves like a hero. Ain't got a sidekick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching anime. This is amazing.
For me, I decided to run for mayor because we needed real change in a real tangible way. We needed radical voices that were going to speak out against what was going on and let folks know that change is possible. Let the establishment know that we're organized, we're creative, and we're coming for you. And to continue and expand our political movement. So for me, it's just like a bunch of stuff happening at once. And then it's like, how do you cut through the noise at this time? Politically, there's so much going on. How do you cut through the noise and have your community represented, your voices represented, and then also online, like there's so much stuff going on. How do I cut through that noise? And while folks are worried about what Meg Thee Stallion is doing or what Kylie Jenner is doing, how do I cut through that noise and make sure that they care about housing for all? Make sure that they care about like schools for our children 20 years from now. Make sure they care about our seniors.
It's
all
not
of these things.
Like I've seen this before where is it like a desperate sort of climb for the race of attention and trying to push your own brand?
For me, it's definitely about getting my own personal brand out there because they do so much to push negative stereotypes of our community. For example, if I shot 2 people today in Brooklyn, if I stabbed somebody in the deli, it would be on the news. If I had sold $2 million worth of drugs, right, I would be a top rapper. I would be on the news, a documentary about I gave away $2 million worth of food, over $2.5 million worth of food in the last 6 months at my Love Gallery, my space, my community space and vintage store, right? That has been on the news. I'm not gonna say it has been on the news, but it's not front page, big story.
It's not
Everybody
viral.
hear about it.
Yeah.
It's not viral. If I had sold $2 million worth of crack, they'd be like, oh my goodness, you're the realest in the community. You sold $2 million of crack. You know, they make those brands popular. But when I'm helping out our seniors, when I'm helping out kids, when I'm doing visits at hospitals, that stuff, that is not cool. So for me, it's super important. Yeah, for me to get my personal brand out there to let folks know that, hey, it's cool to be doing positive things and helping folks. But two, it's bigger than that. You know, it's about actual change. Yeah, I interned at the House of Representatives for many Congress members when I was in high school, and did a bunch of programs on Capitol Hill then. And then, in middle school, I was doing that. And then through high school, and was able to work at the Supreme Court of the United States as well.
So you know your politics. You've been in the game. It's not like a rapper or an artist coming out and trying to quickly grab some attention. And from what you're saying, it just seems like the self-awareness is that whether you're winning or losing, your brand is still getting out there in in that sort of attention-grabbing way still.
And a positive image as well.
Right. I mean, right now, everything, we live in a country that is based on branding. Again, I'm not a fan of American politics, which is why my goal is to transform it. I'm trying to use American politics against itself. Right now in America, they pick a person that's supposed to be perfect, right? They pick a person that's supposed to be perfect. Then they choose the policies that they support. And that's how their kind of campaign goes. Whereas in other places, like France or something like that, there's more political parties, and the political parties will choose the platform. Then they'll later choose a person that helps to front that platform, but it's more about the policies and the person. Here in America, it's all about the brand. So the same way you asked me, am I running to get my brand out there? Every old white dude, white lady, the gay person, the black lady, they're all doing it to get their brand out there as well, because that's what American politics is based on. And they all have a cushy nonprofit job set up, private sector job set up, all of this stuff set up for afterwards. And they're just doing this to get their brand out there. For me, I'm actually doing it to help the community. There's no type of precedent of this being done before in the way that we've done it. For them, there's a bunch of that. With somebody who's like, oh, you do it like this, and then you get a book deal, or you leads, you become a CEO at this place. For me, it is no type of, oh, after this, like, what do I, run for office, you become a famous rapper. Like, no, it's never been that, but we've kind of are creating a new lane for folks to see, hey, okay, yeah, do stuff in the community. I've thrown some of the biggest protests in New York City history, right? So it's like that gets my brand out there, but it also like puts me on police lists, puts me on FBI lists, CIA lists. It, shuts me out of conversations and of different things. So yeah, but that's that stuff.
When we asked you a question, you kind of broke out into a song. I noticed that a lot of your major policies that you're trying to push, you have them in song form. Is that so that you resonate with the audience, or is that like a personal thing? Like, why do you do that?
Yeah, so, we want to make everything fun. I want to make everything fun, right? Everything should be fun because life is, we only have so much time. So like, let's make it dope. Let's make it dope. So for me, that's the same thing with the policies. Nobody cares. A lot of people don't get involved because they feel like when you're talking about foreign policy, when you're talking about fracking, when you're talking about
education,
or I don't know,
community centers and stuff.
Whatever it is, folks feel like, oh, this is over my head. You're talking about something that's over my head, so I don't have an entry point into this conversation. And if we're talking about again, Meg Thee Stallion or Lady Gaga, there's a paper, there's an entry point. You know what I mean? There's an entry point there for folks. But when they're talking about this other stuff, there's no entry point. So using music, using metaphors, using dances, using fashion as a way to get people excited, that helps a lot to keep me excited about it. Because I've been at political things. I was at a thing for the New York City Department of Youth, which is basically like the New York City Department of Youth. It's pretty self-explanatory. I was there, and you think because it's Department of Youth, it's going to be a little like, youthful and engaging. Right. And I'm like a guest there, and I'm supposed to speak, but I don't really have to speak that much. So I'm like basically mainly there sitting, and I was like mad bored. Now the kids were doing a great job. They did the whole program. It was random, came up with by adults, but like it was mad boring. And for me, it's like, I was falling asleep. Most of this politics stuff is so boring. So how do we make it more fun so that more people are involved? Because if more people are involved, then we actually have a democracy.
I like that you make I like that you straight up just make diss tracks about your fellow candidates. I'm into that. You got one. You got like every candidate. You got Andrew Yang diss track, Eric Adams, doesn't matter. You're just like, I feel like that's how people should run. I'm just gonna make a diss track calling you out rather than fake politicize it on the debate stage. That's what's up. I like that.
Eric Adams, get out of my room. What you doing in my room? Eric
what
Adams,
was he doing in your room?
What you doing in my room? Yo, a lot of people really like that song too. Like, and it becomes actually Andrew Yang I was saying this to someone asked me this before. Andrew Yang actually sued me today, yesterday.
Yeah, why is he suing? Why is he suing you?
I don't know.
You yammed on him in that song. You yammed on him on this basketball court.
Okay, he's showing us the serving.
Wait, why is he suing you?
You've been served.
What did you do?
I didn't even do anything. I'm named in a lawsuit with like 12 other people.
He dropped
out,
though, right?
Is it other candidates?
So
yeah, other candidates. Yeah, he like sued every other candidate.
For what?
I don't know.
For
That's a random question. I have no idea. Listen, I have no idea. I just get home from like a night of like having fun and partying, and I get back and I'm like FedEx, and I'm like, wait, a lawsuit.
Well, that's a nice way to care about it. I mean, you're just like, okay, what's going to happen? I thought it was for like defamation or something.
Nah, never that. I have no idea. Honestly, I haven't even I haven't even had a chance to go through it. So
okay, can you talk about your love tickets? Because this is one of the I was curious about. Like, okay, we're not like political people. No one really knows, especially with our our audience and stuff. They're not from New York. They're all over the world. But this is interesting because what does Paperboy care about? And one of the things I heard is these love tickets. Can you talk about what love tickets are?
Yeah. So for me. Before we get straight to that, I'm gonna take a step back and say this. We live in a world that was designed by others for us. Y'all didn't design this world. I didn't design it. Others did. Are we gonna accept it, or are we gonna transform it and change it to what we want it to be? And so for me, it's about transforming and changing this world into what we want it to be. The people who made everything, the microphones you're holding, the couch you're sitting on, the Zoom platform that we're using, they're no smarter or more capable than us, right? They just got to it first, but they're not more smarter or capable. In fact, many of them are less smart and have less resources than we do now because we've been able to build on everything that folks have done. So saying that to say, our society is so backwards. We have negative reinforcement, but we don't have positive reinforcement. So what I mean is like, if you steal, if I came and stole your microphone, I would go to jail, right? But if I see that your door is open, if I walk by your house and I see your door is open, and I close the door and lock it for you, or I call you and let you know, hey, is your door open? Or there's no incentive for me to do that, right? So like, we live in a world where we're basically highlighting all the negative. We have police in the streets that are there. They could be finding the positive that's going on in the community and highlighting that. The police could be out and be like, wait, you let somebody in traffic? in front of you when you didn't have to, I'm pulling you over. Here's $100 love
Hey,
ticket.
bro,
for
hold
helping
on. I love what you're saying, but that is mad inconvenient, isn't it? I mean, like, somebody's gonna pull me over
That
to be
is-
like, "Good job for
now,
doing
hold
the
on,
right
that-
thing."
Right, hold on. Now that was
Just an example.
that was a freestyle example. I just
Okay,
freestyled that.
All
But
right.
but check this though. When you see a flashing light behind you when you're driving, do you ever get a good feeling? Or you're like, yes. No, you're like, oh my goodness.
Right.
And right. And then that's for you. Who knows somebody who is like, maybe has family has had a history with the police. Maybe they have history with police. They've have PTSD from whatever things happen in their community. My point is this. I would be happy to get pulled over if it mean they was gonna give me $100.
But then wouldn't that mean that people wouldn't
You know
care
what I'm
about
saying?
doing the right thing if nobody sees it? Because you get if you have positive reinforcement, right? And you have, it's one thing to just be acknowledged and whatever it is. But if it's, okay, I'm doing the right thing because now there's an incentive. When the incentive isn't present, are we then wanting to do the positive thing?
The idea is though that it lets folks know, it provides that. Like, here's what it does. When you feed that, you get more. So my thing is feeding that positivity. We're going to get more of that. Yeah, some people are just going to do it because they're being noticed, but others, it's going to inspire them to continually do good. That example was a bad example. I'll give you that. That was a bad example. The main example is like something like you're picking up trash, right? You're at the park, you see trash, and instead of just walking by it like everyone does, you pick it up. You just pick up trash that's not yours.
Yeah.
That you didn't dirty up. Your friends didn't dirty up. It wasn't while you were at the park. You just saw something, you pick it up. If everybody did that, we would have a clean earth. Climate change. Done. You
I
know
love
what
the
mean?
energy
Like,
of that. I'm just thinking the opposite of like, if there's no police officer around, then what's the incentive of me picking up that trash if I'm not going to get something out of it? But I love the energy that this whole thing
Right.
exudes.
and to what you're saying is, what's your incentive now when you're definitely not going to get anything out of it?
It
right?
would
Like
it
now
would be
there's
that
zero
there's
incentive.
morals, right? And then it would be that, because there's nothing that I can gain from it outside of internal pleasure or pleasure, but like internal like satisfaction, or like if one's believe in a higher power, then satisfaction to the higher power. But if you have what's a worldly incentive, then we will seek that in worldly incentive in that moment. And when that isn't present, then we aren't going to, do that quote unquote good deed. But I feel
Possibly. that could be that possibly could be an effect. But for me, my thing is this: let's just try it. If that's the thing, then nobody wants to do good because a couple people are getting rewarded for that. Okay. But for me, I would say try it. And then the idea of it was for these same police officers to be disproportionately in the same communities that they are over policing, right? So the same communities that are over policing, they also are over love ticketing. You see what I'm saying? They're
Right.
there and they're like, okay, so this was meant to be something that helps to even heal that relationship, change the discourse. It's like what are the creative ideas that are coming out right now that are allowing folks to advance our society, change what's going on, like clean up what are they? Because for me, I'm like, let's lay them on the table. Let's see which ones work. Let's try them. This thing is using something that we're already doing, ticketing with people we already have, police, with our same residents, with problems. It's just finding a way to problem solve.
Yeah, and just like yourself, I would say that they're just like how you were feeding a bunch of people and doing great things for the elderly. There's always going to be people that go unrecognized. Like the whole saying of there's a lot of heroes that don't wear capes every day in life, right? But the one that you named, the trash one, I feel like that's productive either way, whether there's an incentive or not. The trash is being cleaned up. So if there were other ones like that, I think overall, if they're productive, that's a really good thing.
Right.
Exactly.
What do you think of, especially in this last year, people have been saying New York is dead.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. I have too many examples. Like I could go through my my camera roll, but it's just not dead. Like it's just so not dead. I can say from somebody who was here a year ago to the amount of traffic, people that are out. You know, I have a business. You know what I mean? Even the traffic that's coming to our business now. New York is very much alive. It's very much alive. I'm about to go to a party.
Can you say who it's with? You were telling us before.
Yeah, I'm about to go to one of my first parties tonight. The club invited me. They were like, yo, we're having this party tonight for Pride. Like, do you want to come? I don't really go to parties like that. So I was like, well, I had my manager say no, and you know, we'll come for our fee. And then they were like, oh, we already, and it was short turnaround. So like, oh, you know, we've already like handled everything, but we really want you to come. And Madonna's going to be there.
Stop it.
So I thought it would be cool. Because I was like,
So you're going to party with Madonna?
Hopefully. That would be lit, right?
That's crazy.
On brand.
So do you ever worry that like, not exposing, but like sharing this with the public that you might be partying or any of this type of stuff would deter from the political brand that you push?
Or
do you just
not really. I really don't party that much. 1, 2, I got into this as a party promoter. So part of what makes me a great political activist, I'll say, and you know, I'm also someone that's running for office, is the fact that I'm at parties, right? I used myself throwing parties and throwing shows. And your producer mentioned like a show I was going to and stuff like that from before. I used that to help register voters, right? So I was like, okay, if I can get 200 people to a party, I can register 20 voters.
You're registering these people at the parties?
Yeah, so not tonight. Tonight, I'm off. But at my parties, you know, something that we would do would be like, oh, if you register to vote, free entry if you register to vote. You're not registered.
Oh, nice.
That's really cool.
You know what I'm saying? Something simple like that. And then educating folks around that. And then it's just like, again, an easy entry point. And a lot of folks are like, nah, I'm not voting. I'm not registered to vote. And I get it. I'm like, yeah, this politicians aren't doing nothing for you, so you don't have to. But yo, this is how we can organize. This is the reason we're doing it. It's 250 of us in here in this party right now. The last election in this district was decided by 700 votes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I break that down to people, they'd be like, what? Yeah, you know the judge that locked your homie up? I know her. She only got in office by 1,000. We could get her out of there if we just got this one building to vote against her. But people don't get that. They're not thinking like that. They're not also thinking on a musical, rap, cultural, social media level like I am, and then thinking, wait, I only need 750 votes to get this judge out of here? Like, you know what I mean? That's like, so people,
that's really
when
attainable.
I start thinking like that, yeah, it's like, oh, wait. So then the whole party thing starts to make a lot more sense because I'm using it in a way that's like, I'm recruiting people.
You know
what
as,
I mean?
As far as like your energy, first of all, but also like your ability to market, your ability to be a voice for the people. As you said earlier, you know, like we pick a lot of these policies and put a person in place for it. But even somebody, you know, that's as wholesome as Bernie Sanders couldn't make that spot because he doesn't represent the traditional quote unquote politician. For you, I wonder, like, would you be willing to work with a traditional, you know, per se politician to get at least these ideas across? Or are you totally against the system?
No, definitely. I'll work with the traditional politician. And I do right now. I work with a lot. Libertarians, Republicans, Democrats, all these folks I work with. You know, socialists, all these folks. I'm working with people across the board, right? Because you have to work with everyone to get stuff done. Like you have to. Like that's the only way to be. Like the bad guys are working with everyone. So the good guys have to, you know how to work with everyone. So for me, I do that, and they're excited to work with me because they know that they got to work with everyone. So I'm a good access for them into a different part of the community that is hard to reach. Like our demographic is hard to reach because we're on our phones, but then we don't like ads, but then we're not watching TV, but then we go out, but then we don't go out, and then we watch TV, but it's like on Netflix. Like we're a hard demographic to reach. So a lot of them need to find ways to get us and to rally us to get their ideas out there. So I'll like work with them all the time. Now, my main drawback is that I don't want to work with folks that aren't excited and passionate about making it happen.
Yeah.
Because say you have an idea for something, right? And your idea is to do the love tickets or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a cool idea. Let's make it happen. And I take it and I start talking about it, but I'm not as passionate about it. So we do it in a way that's bad. And then nobody wants to do it anymore because it wasn't executed how it's supposed to. So that's my only drawback of sometimes working with these people is like worrying about putting something out there and it's not executed.
Yeah. How friendly are you with your candidates? Because, you know, you have a case sometimes where, for example, Andrew Yang, he was saying that, you know, you would have his vote if he wasn't running. And then he turns around and sues you. So a little snaky behavior there.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, it's, you know, for me, it's love with everybody. You know, I have a saying that I don't compete, I collaborate. So I don't have any competitors. I only have,
collaborators.
I collaborate with. Exactly. So for me, it's about collaboration. And that was just what I was saying about working with others, you know?
I don't think Andrew Yang is trying to collaborate in the courtroom though.
Yeah.
You know,
I love his reactions to this whole.
He's you know, Paperboy. We all, you know, there's a lot of people that are pushing positivity out there, but everybody cracks at something. What is it for you? What makes you actually do the opposite of love? Is there anything that gets under your skin?
So can I would love to share this story. This will be my first time sharing it on a podcast. Do y'all smoke at all?
No.
Weed? No.
Once upon a time.
Okay. It's called Strange Flavors, so
right.
I thought that might be a little.
He's like, I actually came on this podcast
that.
because I thought this was going to be like a lit time, but y'all are asking a lot of.
It's a much more innocent approach, but I like where you're going. Maybe one day we're tripping on acid and shrooms, but we'll see.
Right. Well, I asked because a big part of my platform is marijuana justice and reparations for the war on drugs. You know, the same communities.
I'm with it though.
Right. So
decriminalize it.
I do exactly. I do these events called smokeouts that we have, where we we'll get together and do a protest and also smoke marijuana on public property. Now, not everybody has to smoke. But, you know, I'll give out a bunch of free weed. Some other companies will.
Wow.
We'll also give out, you know, food and love. And I'll do a speech. I'll perform
give out
all
love.
These things.
I love that.
Yeah. So I had the first one. It was incredible, legendary. You can like look it up, YouTube it. There's some stuff of it. It was so good. We did a second one. And I had I'm answering because you asked what like makes me crack, spreading love. And I had 2 hecklers show up. Now, then we probably had like 100 people coming. They was coming to show love. They bought our t-shirts. I'm wearing one of our t-shirts that just came out. They bought our t-shirts. So much support, right? And then, but we had hecklers. This girl had a speaker and a mic. I also had a speaker and a mic. And while I'm sitting there doing my speech, talking about the community, helping people came far. Like folks that came like 2 hours to this event, and from 2-3 hours away. And she's like the whole time, Paperboy, what are you gonna do for the trans community? And I'm like, mind you, I'm like, wait, but I am that community. Like I've thrown some of the biggest protests in the city for that community. Wait, we just did a event last week. What are you gonna like nonstop?
She wasn't on the weed.
She was not.
You need to pass her the blunt.
Definitely needed to. The whole time she was just like calling me, saying lies about my name, all this stuff, saying, Paperboy, you take money from the community and fund your own, like all this stuff that I'm like, which is kind of, to me, it was kind of cool because I'd never been at the point as a politician where like somebody's like really trying to like take me down like publicly. So that was funny. And then another heckler came from like another candidate and was like, vote for this candidate or whatever. But so that to me, there was a point.
Did you snap?
In this, I almost snapped. There was a point where, like after 40 minutes of this, right? And there's videos of her doing this and me smiling and like still like giving that weed to people and like being positive. And like so many people thought she was a part of it because I just ignored it. But there was a part where somebody came and they were like, yeah, Paperboy. Like this white person in the back was like, yeah, Paperboy, when are you going to show up in the trans community? And I was like, I literally snapped, like something in me snapped. I was like, what you not gonna do? I was like,
Super Saiyan.
I was like, now listen, what you not gonna do is be a white person and tell me how to protest and stand up for my own community. That's what we not gonna do.
Right.
That's what you not gonna do. That's what I had to. I was like,
did you put her in her place?
I snapped, and then I was like, it wasn't bad. I didn't say anything bad. I didn't call anybody out of their name or anything like that. I just checked them. And then I was like, wait, you know what? But that energy wasn't the energy. The more so that energy wasn't the energy I was trying to put out. I stepped back. I apologized. And was like, you know what? I shouldn't even have been on this type of time. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated. This person is like.
Did you at least serve them with facts though? Like, this is what I do?
I did. But like, I did. But you know what?
I learned that you wanted.
At that moment that sometimes people don't want to hear that. They just want blood. They don't want to hear the truth. They just want to see you bleed. Yeah. They want to see you bleed. They want to embarrass you. So even you asked me about the non-binary thing. This person also was like, how long have you been non-binary anyway? 2 years? What? Since you were running for Congress? You're gay for clout. You're queer for clout. You're I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, first of all, like, what? Like, first of all, my girl's right here. Second of all, I'm not doing nothing for clout. Third of all, like, who are you to police my identity and all of this stuff? You know, so that to me, we, like how you said, everybody has a limit. Having to deal with that was good because it tested my limits and publicly, very publicly. Like I was in one of the most popular parks in the country on a weekend, a sunny day, mad people there, my own event, cameras, live streaming, and you know, I had to be on point. So yeah, it's not easy.
I have my favorite New Yorker, his name is Ayan. I asked him, you know, as a New Yorker, what are some questions you would ask if you could talk to Paperboy Prince? So he asked me 3 questions. Number 1, what is your go-to order at the bodega?
My go-to order at the bodega would be some Haribo, like gummy candy.
Okay.
And then I get turkey on a hero, hot, lettuce, tomato.
Are you saying gyro?
Onions. A hero.
Gyro?
It's a hero.
Everyone pronounces it differently. I've heard that. Yeah. Some people say euro, gyro.
A euro.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Right. But this isn't a gyro. This is a hero, which is basically
How
like
is it
a
spelled?
sub. HERO.
Oh, a hero.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought you were saying gyro, and you're like saying it like wrong.
Right. No, people from New York will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Got it. Not a New Yorker here. Totally get it.
Right. But like, yeah, that's a funny thing that I didn't even think of. Yeah, a hero. No, it's not a gyro, but it is kind of confusing. It's a hero.
Some people do pronounce
right?
gyro, and so I thought that's what you were doing.
No. Right. No, that's a real thing people do. This, I was talking about a hero.
Got it.
There's a hero and a roll. Those are like usually the options, like hero.
Gummy bears, turkey on a hero,
lettuce, tomato, provolone cheese, onions.
Don't forget it.
Mustard, no mayo, hot. That's what I would get, and then maybe some like barbecue chips and
get something to drink, please.
Yeah, a Sprite.
Yeah.
Sprite.
Oh yeah, he's drinking a 2-liter Sprite right while he's on the podcast. Okay, good answer.
I gotta stay up. I don't really.
Sprite
do
is
Red
caffeine
Bulls,
free.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, snap! You're right.
Well, I just ruined his whole
placebo.
Yeah. Amber, come on.
I'm so sorry. He's like, I've been
No,
relying
she's
on
lying.
Sprite.
Paperboy, she's lying.
He just saw it on
You
the
drink
bottle.
your
You're
Sprite,
right.
all right?
I see it on the bottle. I never knew that. How
No,
did
it
you
has
know that?
it has sugar though, so it'll give you a little.
No, but he
Little
was
something.
relying
How
on
did
the
you know that?
caffeine because
Right.
everybody knows that Sprite is
God-
caffeine free.
God or they was relying on the caffeine. But yes, how did you know that?
Well, because like Pepsi, is caffeine. and
She's
then-
just like she looks at. She's one of those people that looks at all her food, the labels and stuff.
Well,
She
also-
ruins things for other people.
No,
Don't listen to her.
I worked at my dad's restaurant for like 8 months. Maybe that helped because they had all the different sodas. So I got a close look at them.
They've got gyros there, no heroes.
I've
No, yeah.
never seen caffeine, and you have gyros there.
And we have gyros there. Yeah.
Okay, so that.
But
could
no
be- I see
heroes.
how
We
that
don't have
confuses.
heroes, though.
No heroes. You probably do have heroes too, but you just don't call them that.
I've heard
Like if
I've heard
somebody
people
else-
say hero. I thought it was.
Are you Googling if Sprite has caffeine?
No. I'm looking right at the bottle. It says no caffeine right
Mm.
on it. Like as soon as you said that, I looked and I could clearly see no caffeine. I've never seen it before.
That's crazy.
You've got a great bodega order. So a
Yeah.
little something for all the palate. Number 2, Ayan asks, if you didn't live in New York, where would you live and why?
I mean, if I didn't live in New York, I would live in DC or Maryland because I would be a member of Congress, and I'd be spending a lot of time down there on Capitol Hill. So that would be another place that I would live. I would definitely live in maybe West or North Africa, on the beach somewhere. I think that would be very fun.
Vibes.
Yeah. I
No
could see
Cali.
that.
I feel like you would thrive in Cali, no?
Yeah.
You are
You
East
know what?
Coast, East
Everyone
Coast
says that.
goddess.
Everyone says that. And I have some Cali meetings, some people that really want me to get out to Cali. So we'll see. We'll see. You know what it is? It's so spread out. I like things compact and together. It's just easy for me. Like, unless I have a driver, which is like, you know what I mean? That's like harder.
So it's a
have.
commute
So, like,
thing.
it is. I don't like really driving that much. I would love to be like ride and be able to work on the ride and all of that,
Okay, last one. If you could enact one policy across the US, what would it be and why? Across the entire United States.
I would make this would be an experiment, and I'm not really thinking this through. I'm
You're gonna
just
go with
throwing
the
it out there,
experiment
but-
for the universal.
Hold on, let him answer. I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Yes. Okay. So because I want to give y'all a good answer.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
can give y'all my you know what I mean? Like I'm saying that because I want to give y'all a good answer. I can give y'all like my like my policies, which are like legit what I already have said on record that I would do, which is like, basic income, right? $2,000 a month for all. I would enact that. Spreading love centers all across for places where we can strengthen families, relationships, friends. We can learn about different cultures. I would enact that. Healthcare for all. I would enact that. Housing for all. These are things, but like it's something that's actually cool and edgy. And that's just like an experiment that I'm just thinking of right now outside of that. Because I'm assuming you don't want me to, would be I would make the mainstream media. I have so many policies that I would enact specifically for different people. Like I have policies just for Black people. I have policies that would be just for women, just for men, just for older people, just for youth, just because I want to help.
Like he's saying,
Exactly.
I think we're saying like maybe for a woman it would be like reproductive health policies and like for, am I on the right track here?
No, I put it like this. I would obviously want women to be representing themselves in these things. But my point is like, we kind of do things that are like self-destructive, are hurting ourselves, right? And so sometimes somebody has to save us from that or allow us to do different things just to see if it works. But my nationwide policy would be, I would like make the mainstream media, major corporations, I would make those like illegal for like 5 to 10 years. So you couldn't have like a massive MTV, or you couldn't have like a massive NBC or something like that. It would just be like local things. It would be like podcasts, YouTube channels, and stuff like that.
So there's like a number you couldn't pass or something, like as far as viewership, or
yeah, or like the channels would be like local. Like you couldn't even like make something that's like
so censorship.
Censorship. Now, this is just me freestyling it. I have not thought this through. So I'm going to say that. I'm just saying I thought of this 2 seconds after you answered asked the question. But the reason behind it is, and more so than the policy, that what I really thought through is the reason behind it, the policy, which is the mainstream media does so much to our how we stereotype others, our prejudice of other people, also our feelings on our own bodies, right? Like people feeling like they're not, maybe women feeling like they don't live up to a certain standard, men feeling like they don't live up to a certain standard. You feeling like, oh, I'm not happy, I'm not complete unless I buy this new car, this new iPhone, these new shoes, right? All of these things that they're doing. I would like let us go without that for 10 years and see how that affects society.
A social experiment.
Exactly. So we're not being controlled so much. I feel like we're being controlled way more. Like if you ever look at what's it called, like marketing theory, and like these like marketing companies and like psychology and what it does to you. I'll give you a basic one. Like when they have like at the movies, right? It was a study they did during the movies when during a movie they showed like a 5-second like flash of like popcorn. And y'all remember this one, right? And then
fizzing Coke right in your ears, and you're like, oh, I need it.
It's like a half a second flash, and you don't even realize it, but it tells your brain that you want it.
Exactly. And like, so we're being controlled like that, but even so much more directly by the mainstream media on so many things. And it's just like, okay, for me, they've gotten too strong. They're too powerful. They can do whatever they want. They can make anyone popular. They can make anyone unpopular. They can make anyone a hero. They can make anyone a villain. That is too much power. So we need to give that power back to the people.
The Amish run the country. Shut the technology down for 5 years. Let's thrive in our communities and our villages. Let's take it back old school.
They said the Amish community is supposed to grow exponentially anyway.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know if you saw, but Target's entire clothing selection is straight up Amish clothes.
Okay. Well, can they go in Target?
I don't know, but if you want to dress like the Amish, you can go to Target.
Listen, no Amish slander.
I need to go to Target. I need to go to Target because I definitely want to dress like the Amish.
I mean, hey, you will look like you've been churning butter all day, but it's Amish chic.
I got love. Listen, I have love for all the Amish people, and I appreciate all of their contributions to society. And
no Amish slander, just Amish promotion.
They can't
Amish
hear us
fashion
anyways.
promotion.
They won't hear you say this, so you could say whatever you wanted.
That's true.
I'll give you a love ticket for that one. Since you did it.
I got a lot of love for them.
I got a lot of love for them. And part of what we're judged on is how we treat folks when no one's looking, when they can't hear us and all of that stuff. Yeah. So for me, I want to be a type of person that's like, yo, Paperboy, you was talking about me behind my back? Yeah, I was. I was saying good things behind your back. I was uplifting you. I was being positive behind your back. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I talk behind your back all the time. I'm talking good things. So that's kind of where
I have the most important question though out of this whole interview.
Yes.
Why do you hate Megan Thee Stallion so much?
When did I say that?
You had
there's no hate. He was just saying
2 moments of bashing Megan Thee Stallion.
That was not bashing.
Okay.
That wasn't bashing. I mentioned Megan Thee Stallion
no, I know.
to say something. I admonished her. I said that like people care about Megan Thee Stallion. I said a lot of people don't care about like a lot of societal issues, but they care about her. So I'm like, what can we do? What is it that she's doing that we can take in our world to make people care more? So I'm more so saying like bigging up in her and like saying like she is one of the people that has figured out the formula in current time to like make stuff that cuts through all the noise. So what can we do? What can we learn from that to cut through the noise to help the people? So I don't got no problem with Meg Thee Stallion. I like the big old freak.
There we go.
Big booty, big old
Ooh,
friend. I'll make it all sweet. There
we go.
I got on top of the bed.
We need a clarification for the hot girls.
Right. I just can't sing any of the lyrics because they're just, I just can't. All the lyrics are like mad.
Mad what?
They're OD for me. I can't.
It's okay. You can say it. They're OD. They are.
They are OD.
It's all right. Listen, Paperboy, you are an extremely fun person. Wish you the best with everything. I know that the race is ending soon, but you know what? Like your intent, I think, is something that everybody could get behind. We could all use a little bit of that energy and positivity. So thank you for, spreading that no matter what happens. You're dope. You have my vote as an amazing human being. So
facts.
I don't know if that matters, but there's that.
Thank you. And I'm gonna float this on here. I've thought about running for offices in different states just to mess with people's heads,
Make a documentary. That sounds like a cool idea for just go and run for in every state. And there's always this character there, Paperboy the Prince. And I want to cut of this, by the way. I'm giving you an awesome idea here. You run and it's always this little piece of reminder of, it's like the Joker, not calling you the Joker, but you know how the Joker in the system is always kind of pointing out the flaws and how everybody is kind of under one, ruling and they don't really realize, they don't snap out of it. I feel like you could snap people out of it on a national level.
Yeah. I don't know the Joker's philosophy, but sure, that sounds nice.
Let me direct.
Hey, we're starting a movement. This is what a movement is. It's hard work. It takes a long time, and a lot of people, but it's happening, and I'm super excited. Our campaign, we've exceeded expectations on so many fronts. We've been able to help so many people do so many things. So now it's just keeping that movement going, that momentum going. Like I said, we also have the Love Gallery. It's my vintage clothing space, also community space in Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York. It's one of the hottest culture spots in the city. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful. We do parties there. We do, our food distributions there. We built our tiny home that we're giving housing out there. We're doing urban farming events, healthcare events, STD testing, so many things, meditation, so many things that we're offering to the community. And we're hoping to expand that. So I'm super excited. Then we also got our campaign merch and so much more on my website, paperboyprince.com. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you, Paperboy. Before you go, though, we have one last question that we ask all of our strangers at the end of every podcast. Amber, you want to take that away?
Sure. If you could describe yourself as any flavor, what would it be and why?
Any flavor.
Any flavor. We got a wall full of flavors. Any flavor that you'd like. I just dropped our whole set. Oops.
What flavor would I be?
Mm-hmm.
I would be the flavor of love.
Let's go.
I'd be the flavor of love. I'd be the flavor of love because after anything that you do with Paperboy Prince, you should be feeling more inspired, more encouraged, happier. You should be feeling loved. You should be feeling welcome. Should be feeling energized, all of these things. There's a specific intention into all of that. So I'm really about that, You should be feeling better than you came. Everyone who listens to this podcast, the Paperboy Prince podcast with strange flavors or reverse it, however you want to call it, they're going to be feeling more inspired. They're going to be feeling better, uplifted, because that's the intention that we put into it. That love is real and it's true love. Everybody that I've ever known has always wanted, more of that love, and myself included.
Beautiful, beautiful,
I feel like
beautiful.
you need to end that with your Paperboy. Yeah.
Paperboy.
Paper, yeah. It's our time. Paper, yeah.
The flavor of love, everybody. Thank you for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
The governor man. Set up too wild, we set up too rad. I talk for the people, you talk for the man. I got the list, we make the demand. I spread the love, but he hating again.